Welcome back, Hermes lovers. My name is Tanya and I also love Hermes, but I didn't always love Hermes. So in this video, I will be talking about my luxury journey. I feel like I have made a fair share of mistakes with luxuries and buying expensive things in general. So in this video, I was hoping to tell you a little bit of my story of how I got started and how I ended up here with so much Hermes and other brands. Now I don't buy certain brands that I used to buy in the past, and I kind of wanted to dig in and explain why. So stay tuned if you like high-end shopping. I think that you will find this video very useful. I was a teenager when I started shopping brands, and I started shopping brands like Burberry. It was my favorite brand. I had everything Burberry. I had obviously bags, I had Burberry coats, I had Burberry clothes like Burberry jeans, t-shirts, polos, gloves, hats, scarves, shoes, you name it. I had it all. The only thing I probably did not have was Burberry underwear, but I used to love Burberry and it was one of my favorite brands. And when I was younger, I really liked brands that kind of like showed the logos, like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and things like that. I think I used to buy a lot of these brands when I was a teenager. I think when I turned maybe like 19 or 20, I started chasing brands that were very trendy and popular. So like I had, the YSL tributes, I had the Balenciaga bags, I had the Celine handbag, the luggage tote. So I was really chasing like the trends, and I was not buying so much timeless items, like the Valentino Rockstar, Villager dresses. I hope that you can picture me back in those days. In my student years, like I was literally chasing the next big thing, and I was spending lots and lots of money doing that. And then I realized that I would buy these things, I would wear them for like a year, and then they would go out of style, and then like I couldn't really wear them anymore. So I didn't really like it, and I was like, I remember I think I was trying to sell some of these things. I'm not sure. It just wasn't a good idea. And like I think after a few years of chasing the next trendy thing, the next trendy bag, the next trendy shoes, I just stopped because I felt like it was such a waste of money to just like recycle all of these things that I thought were meant to last. So I started buying more timeless things. I started buying more timeless shoes. I started buying things that I could wear throughout seasons and that were not like so hot and trendy that they would go out of style, and I would be just basically left with those items. So then I think I started buying lots of Chanel. I loved everything Chanel. I love their bags, I love their shoes, love their clothes. I was just die-hard Chanel fan. I also had a fair share of Dior. Then I started buying Fendi, and I really liked Fendi quality. I don't know if you can see like a Fendi Peekaboo bag. I think it was my first Fendi bag. I just really liked it. Like I was blown away by the quality. And then I was really enjoying wearing those kind of like timeless things throughout the seasons. So I think I was kind of coming into my style a little bit more, just like being comfortable with investing in, I don't know, instead of like Valentino Rockstar sneakers, I would buy Laura Piana Summer Charms, or I would buy, same, instead of like YSL tribute high heels, I would buy Christian Louboutin, like black or nude, and I would just really enjoy wearing those things through the seasons, and they actually stood the test of time. And then something interesting happened. I bought my last Chanel bag at a Chanel boutique. I want to say it was maybe 2017 or 2018, and it fell apart. It's actually this handbag right there. I made some videos about it. It was an expensive bag and the quality just wasn't there. I took the bag to the spa and the service of the Chanel people was just horrible. Like I had to pay so much money, and just like in general, like I felt like I wasn't treated well by Chanel. I did find the quality to be lacking in handbags, like the leathers and just the hardwares and the chains and like the stitching. So for me, the quality was just like not what it used to be, but I was still buying a lot of Chanel shoes. And then I started buying Hermes. And I think I started like most people did with the Oran sandals. I think my first official Hermes purchase was Oran sandals in white, and then I got them in another color. And then I remember I wanted a Birkin bag, just like because, you know, the Birkin bag because of the status. I do admit that my first bag I wanted because of the status. So I remember the story, and I think I shared the story a few times already. I was actually offered a Kelly bag in Miami a few years prior to that, but I decided to not buy it. And then I remember I was offered a Constance bag and I passed on it as well. I was like, now that I'm thinking about it, like I must have been crazy, because it was like the small Constance, and like the price of that bag back then was just a lot less expensive than now, let's put it that way. But I passed on those bags because I wanted the Birkin bag, and I was not offered the Birkin bag, so I was gonna buy one off of Sotheby's or Christie's, like at an auction. And my husband heard of that and he was like, that's a big no-no, I'm gonna get you one from the store, which he did. So my very first bag was this navy Birkin officier with the 2 stripes. I thought it was perfect. It was a Birkin 30, and I thought that it wasn't like too mature because I was much younger when I got my first bag, so I wanted something a little bit different but still classic, and I was very happy. But then I was telling my husband like, well, I'll just want a Birkin, you know, like I'll just want a Birkin. And I believed it back then, trust me. But of course, it just wasn't one Birkin, because when I got the Birkin, I saw the amazing quality in the craftsmanship of that bag. And it was something so new to me because I have never seen craftsmanship and quality of that sort on a handbag ever. And I was like shocked, to be honest. And I wanted a Kelly. So I was like, okay, I want a Kelly. I want like a black Kelly. I want the smaller size Kelly 25, and I want gold hardware. And I think almost a year later, not a year, maybe like 10 months later, I got a call that this exact bag came in, the one that I was wanting. Obviously, I bought it. I think that Kelly, which is right here, the Kelly 25 in black, that solidified my love for Hermes. I just was in love with their colors, with their hardwares, with their quality, with the leathers, obviously. So that sort of started my journey of Hermes, and then obviously I started to buy other items at Hermes, such as like home items, and I absolutely love Hermes home, their china, their shoes, the clothes, like everything. I think that Hermes has unmatched quality, especially when it comes to their leathers and craftsmanship. Some people of my followers, people that have been buying Hermes a lot longer than me, said that their quality is declining a little bit. Now, I personally have only seen that to be true with some shoes. Lately, Hermes has been having some quality issues with shoes, like with my husband cheaper sandal, the fur or the shearling on the cheaper sandal kind of rubbed off. You could see the sole, and then these shoes were brand new. I think it was like maybe the second time I wore them, and look what happened to them. So I just like don't think it's normal. But with handbags, again, some people report different things, but I still love Hermes quality when it comes to handbags. And I think that right now there's only like very few brands that can come close to Hermes quality. And now I stay with a brand not because, you know, I want a Birkin or like a Kelly or, you know, or because of like the status thing. Now I stay with Hermes just because I'm invested in quality and I just love a brand. Like actually that Birkin and then that Kelly bag, they turned me into an Hermes lover. So now, of course, when I shop, quality is the number one thing for me, as well as if I would be able to wear something throughout the seasons, because now I try to shop sustainably. I try to think a little bit more about my purchases and if I will be wearing them a while or not. And the idea is that if I have a daughter one day, I will be able to pass on my collection, and obviously I will be wearing those bags for the rest of my life, hopefully. And I said that I was a lover of Hermes, but I do feel like my collection is getting big, and I think that I'm getting close to completing my collection. You know, I'm kind of running out of ideas what to put on my my wish list. If you have any like creative ideas, or if you think that I can diversify my collection somehow, feel free to leave a comment. But I also want to be a conscious shopper. I want to get away from consumerism, so that is also something that I'm constantly thinking about. It's also the reason why I chose to not buy exotic handbags. If you see, I don't own any exotic leather and I'm not planning on. I have zero problems with people that do buy exotics. It's just not something for me. If I ever did want to buy an exotic handbag, it would probably be vintage, definitely. But again, it's my personal choice, and I hope that my journey provided a little bit more clarity for the values that I stand for at the moment. Let me know if that resonates with you, if you had similar experiences. I'm actually like really hoping that this video would start a discussion, sort of like a broader discussion. Any feedback is appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more luxury content. With love.